10 seconds.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the View from the Dead Box. We are back from the NXL. I say we. I mean
Just
me.
you. Just you.
'Cause
I
you're
was
both
home this weekend.
didn't want to come.
I don't make that big money like you do, apparently.
Hey, what you got on your wrist right now?
Nothing. It's empty.
Oh,
Oh, hey, or do you mean this wrist?
ah. Mhm.
God, you're such a dick. Yeah. I mean, I know where you were at. Did you?
Where the hell were you at?
Where the hell? I was. What did my weekend consist of? Saturday, I moved some furniture. Sunday, I watched pretty much NXL all day, obviously, until the other day. Then I went shooting. And that was about it. And then yesterday, I had my first stages of my jury duty, and then I go back the rest of this week, starting tomorrow, to go do that. So that's what's going on in my life at this point in time. Didn't think we were going to have time to record this podcast because I thought I was going to have jury duty today. And they say the first day it's going to run really late. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, there might not be a podcast this week. But we're making it happen.
we are.
Here we are. So what about you? Obviously, you played NXL Philly. We started off. We talked a little bit briefly about Philly last weekend because we were coming off our MVPS.
Yep.
And the last thing we saw were the field conditions. Basically, when we sat to record, that news was just dropping.
Love to see it.
Yeah, were the pictures accurate?
Yes. But misleading.
Misleading, okay.
So from the pictures, it looks like it's on like the really bumpy all the way down. It was not. It was actually, honestly, it was probably one of the most level fields I've ever played on. It was
that's good.
Perfectly level. And it looks like it was up and down, but it wasn't. That was the grass looking odd compared to the dirt. So it wasn't really bad. My issue is there is no give in that dirt.
Yeah.
It's like hard packed. It's kind of like nitro.
Okay. Yeah, like playing on clay for people that don't like a baseball field clay.
Yeah. Which there are tons of teams that still play on that shit.
Oh yeah. It's I go back and forth with it. Like I understand why everybody complained.
Oh, it's terrible.
But then again, it could have been worse, I guess. But
it definitely could have been worse.
My thing is, it shouldn't happen like this for a national event. That's my complaint.
My issue is he waited until the week of to announce it, or the few days prior to announce it, and we talked to him about it, and he knew that it was like this, and chose not to disclose this information, which is complete bullshit.
Yeah, that's a little sketch.
Yeah. And you know, we talked to him about it, and we're like, man, you can't do that. Like, you have to, give the guys a heads up. That's bullshit that you let them fucking come all the way down here or up here for some people, and then get there to find out that, you're playing on the fucking Mojave Desert.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
It was, and they were driving around in water trucks and like watering it down, inside the place just to keep it somewhat not dusty. That was okay. But
imagine all the vendors like with their gear like out and all that.
Yeah.
Just people walking by. That dust, they can't help keep all their shit got fucked up. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
like brand new equipment dirty.
All dirty. There's mud, and then that mud tracks up everywhere.
And it rained Saturday, correct?
It rained for about 20 minutes and it stopped. And then it rained for about 10 more minutes and it stopped. So
it was pretty heavy though, right?
It wasn't terrible.
Okay. I was watching the webcast, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it rained really hard for like 5 minutes and then drizzled for 5 minutes and stopped.
Okay.
And then and we got lucky because Chris got us all into the VIP section of the what you call it? He had his fanny pack with like 500 probably shouldn't be telling people this, but like 500 of the VIP wristbands, every color ever made. So he walks up to the guy. He's like, "What color are we today, sir?" He's like, "Pink and silver." He opens his fanny pack up and goes, All right, I got a couple of these. It walks right inside, right past the guy. So we stay in there and we watch a couple pro matches. Kind of killed a couple hours on Saturday, and then we're waiting to get spun back up for our 5-man games.
So yeah, let's backtrack a little bit here. So so Friday you played X-Ball on Friday only, correct?
Yes,
or did you not play any X-Ball?
Two matches of X-Ball on Friday, and then 2 matches of X-Ball on Saturday.
And then okay, sorry, that's
and
what I was
5-man late Saturday.
Okay, that's what I was confused. I was just because I'm used to normally how Cup is, where it's like Thursday, Friday, because you got the extra day.
Yeah.
Okay, I was a little confused. No worries. Keep going.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I should get back to that. So we get there and play. Actually, I'll go to where we got to the plane. We got off the plane, and I will say that's probably I've been in DFW before a couple times. That airport is wild.
Yeah, the Philadelphia airport. I've never been to that one. So
it's wild.
Like, huge. What do you mean? Huge?
It's just huge, yeah.
Like bigger than Atlanta? Because Atlanta and London are the biggest I've been to, and those are fucking. Yeah, it's confusing too.
I feel like I've been to Atlanta a million times. It doesn't seem that big as Philly.
Maybe it's just like, I don't know. You're familiar with it.
Yeah, very possible. So we get out of there. We go. It's the venue's about 40 minutes away from the airport.
Yeah.
Well, we actually look at it on GPS and it says like 35 minutes. I'm like, cool. So I'm like, well, gotta get a cheesesteak when we get off the plane, right? Josh is a somewhat local. He lives about 2 hours south, ish, and he's like, yeah, I know a great place for cheesesteaks. I'm like, dope. He takes us to a place called Chicky and Pete's, which they got a little bit of everything, but very good. So we get there. The first thing I do, we're looking at these cheesesteaks, and I get a cheesesteak, whatever, and Rangel is trying to talk me into getting this crab feast for 2. And I'm like, man, that does look kind of good. But it had a couple other things on there I didn't really want, like had mussels and clams. I'm like, well, I kind of want the crab and the crab legs, and then they had snow crab. I'm like, I want all that, and the shrimp, I want all that shit. But the mussels and clams, kind of don't want to eat that and then go out in the heat.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, well, I'm gonna get the crab feast for 1 then. So as you've seen that picture I put on Facebook,
I did. I was gonna ask you about it.
God,
that's a lot of fucking food.
He pounded all of it and finished all of it. It
was
like 7. It was like 7 monster fucking crabs. Killed all of them. Done.
It looked good.
Yeah, killed it. So we leave there, and then we're driving. And I feel like we've been driving for like 40 minutes. And then he's like, go ahead and pull up the GPS, and it says 40 minutes. And I'm like, we've been driving for over 40 minutes. Apparently, we passed our exit 20 miles ago, and we kept driving. So we drove 20 minutes past our exit. So we had to turn around and drive another 20 minutes back. So we got 40 minutes out of the way. So we finally get to the the place, the hotel, and we're staying with like NRG and all the guys and all the other teams. We get everything kind of put away, and we go to the field. I think we just kicked it that night, hung out, got some food or whatever.
So was that Thursday?
Yeah, and then Friday we went to the field, played the 2 matches, didn't do too hot. We got fucking paired up in death bracket. This is what it was, which is always, and I hate to use that excuse, but we got paired up against the number 1 team, the number 6 team, and NRG Charlie, who was the same line that was D2 last event that lost 2 guys, and they came down to D3 and played. So we just definitely did not have a fucking easy draw. But it's not like we would have won the event anyways, because we can't get past those teams. We can't win the event.
Yeah.
So we don't ever expect to win the X-Ball. We kind of expect just to go there and get reps on the field and feel comfortable.
Well, my thing with X-Ball for y'all, and this could go with any other teams that are like this, y'all don't get to practice together, like for the veteran militia. Like, you know what I mean? Literally, y'all are across the country. You can't
compete against D3 X-Ball guys who don't practice ever.
It's hard even so these D4 teams now, like it's just the competition's too good across the board.
Oh yeah.
So
we get kind of beat up a little bit, but we're playing Seattle Ninjas, who's a really good team, and they're 3-0 against us. I'm like, fuck. We beat them 4 times in a row. The comeback. We get 4 no points in a row for like dumb shit. Yeah, just dumb shit. Like I mean, it was a multitude of reasons. It was insane. We literally played the same side of the field 4 times in a fucking row. I'm like, what is going on?
Oh,
like,
I would have been irate.
We had all kinds of the guys are getting all kinds of wild bullshit penalties. Not bullshit, they were real penalties, but they were just getting them being stupid. And I'm like, we literally played 4 points in a row. So I said, well, I chalk it as we could have probably beat the Ninjas because we literally beat them off the fucking field 4 times in a row and just could not fucking get a goddamn point to save our life. Well, anyways, then we played some other shit team. I don't know what they were. Oh, the Droogs, which is a big traveling team. If they're from like Sweden or something like that.
Yeah.
We beat everybody took their turn shitting on those guys. They're fucking terrible. I think they're kind of like 30 other team as well. They're a big organization.
Yeah.
But VM's organization is a little bit better than that shitbag.
Yeah.
But anyways, they're all good guys, great guys. But they got ran off the fucking. But then they got 0-4 at every match except or something like that. Oof. Like 0-4, 0-4, 0-4, and then like maybe a 5-1 or something wild like that.
That's rough.
Yeah, it's bad. So, then we know we're not moving on. Yeah. But Friday, then Josh lets us take his car out so we get to fucking go enjoy the town. As you've seen on Facebook, we drove in downtown Philly, did the whole Philly experience. The Rocky statues and the stairs and all the museums and all that kind of shit. That kicked it at a good time. Came back. Yeah. Then we know the real day is Saturday. Like Saturday, that's where we're gonna go there and play for play for 5-man. So
yeah.
In typical VM fashion, we start off.
Okay, up until literally 30 seconds ago, I had not looked at y'all's record. Obviously, I knew what y'all did because I had been, like, your wife texts, and we communicating, but I literally just now have looked at what y'all did. What the fuck?
Dude,
typical VM fashion is right. Jesus.
The last 3 events, that's how it was. We lose the first 3 games, win the next 5, and then run deep into the finals. That's how it always is, man.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Whatever y'all got to do, right?
I mean, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Dang.
So, it's wild.
And this is true 5-man too, so you're playing 8 different teams.
Yeah.
I like that better, honestly. Like I've said this before, I think that is more difficult to play than X-Ball can be, but X-Ball can be more difficult in the way that you're playing more points. So it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I don't know. They're both tough.
So we played first 3 points, boom, 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 lose. Then we have to win out. And we got a pretty hard schedule to win out with. So we play all the way through, do well, and then we get paired up against Rampage, who's always playing D3 5-man, and they're a very good team for our last point. We have to win it. And we win it pretty well. It knocks them actually out of the tournament. It knocks them out.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, it knocked them out. We moved on. And we took top 3, and we draw marked Militia, which I'm not really sure who they are, but we played against them before under a different name, and some of the guys knew them, and it was a pretty decent team, honestly. But we played them first thing. Well, actually, can't say first thing in the morning. We got a great time, like 11:30 Sunday morning. So we went out there, dicked around, got out, and we kind of go out there and start the game off. Comes down to a 2-on-4 with me and Rangel versus 4 them. He gets shot somewhere along the way, and I clipped 2 of them, and it's a 2-on-1. And I could have swore I shot this dude like 2 different stab shots, and I guess I was off. And we lose that, so we have to fucking battle back.
Yeah.
Then you have to, because it's race of 2 on Sunday.
Yep.
So you have to win the next 2. So we get a good break, go out, shoot a dude, I clip him on the cut. And then push the other side pretty quick, kind of going back and forth. And then I see this dude. I get up in the 300 or 400 pretty early, and I beam this dude in the fucking pack. Plain as day. My ref is screaming it. Not getting out.
Yeah.
So they run over, throw a penalty on the dudes, beat them, and then come out the last game. Same shit. Guy is just playing on. Like blatantly playing on. And some of the refs are actually calling good calls. He's either playing on, fucking throwing penalties. Guy, his bunker's like swelling up. and he's on a temple, and his whole entire foot is up under the bunker. I can see his like ankle all the way down. I almost have shot his foot 20 fucking times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, his foot. I am screaming. This dude is just standing there. Let me beam his fucking feet. I'm like, when is a ref gonna call something? Finally, I wait a little bit, see a flag go up, and then go down, beat him down pretty good, get him, game over, win. And then they're like, all right, you're playing on the pro field for first place. So we're like, okay. Here, and then now the fucking shitstorm starts.
Well, before you get there, right? Before you get there. So I'm watching, obviously, some matches on Sunday. I'm sitting at the house with my parents. And I don't remember who Dynasty's playing. And all of a sudden, I see someone run across the screen, and I immediately go, that's fucking Courtney. I could tell. I was like, that's how she runs every weekend when she gets pods for us and when she plays. And my mom goes, you think? And I was like, yeah. And then I looked in the chat, and Jamie noticed too. And then so my mom was sitting there. She was trying to get I think she did send it to Courtney off to ask.
Yeah, she did.
She's like sitting there trying to film the TV like the whole time. And she's like, y'all don't talk. Y'all don't talk. Y'all don't talk. And I'm like, we're not going to talk. Like, film Courtney. We'll get it. She was like the whole time waiting. She was like, when's it going to happen? I'm like, we got to wait for Dynasty to play again. And hopefully they'll send Courtney out again to get pods. And hopefully the camera passes her. But my mom, she was loving it. She's like, she goes, yeah. And I was like, I figured of all teams for her to do it for, that's perfect for her. She got to hang out with Greenspan out there in the pits, I'm sure she loved that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there.
No, you're good. I got a good story for that when we're done here.
Even better.
Yeah. So, sorry, I'm eating.
No, you're good. We're super professional podcast.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. So we come back. I say pro field at like 2:00. I'm like, all right. Well, we get to watch the team we're going to play. And you will remember her from the event you came up and coached me and Dwayne at the CPSL.
Yeah, I do remember.
And I guess she plays for Team USA. I'm not very familiar with her, but
I'm not either. I pulled up her stuff here.
Yeah, not very familiar with her. But anyways, she typically plays D side, and in the CPSL, she played. Not sure who she played with, but
it looks like Tantrum is who she plays for.
Okay, well, she didn't play for them then. I don't think, unless she did, and we beat that team in the dirt because the team we played that she was on
that month she played for Founding Fathers.
Okay, yep, that's it was. Yeah, because I made sure we talked a bunch of shit versus them.
Yeah,
because we beat them for first place in the last event.
We won for them. I'm looking at it now. Back in August.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, 4-1 them. Yeah.
Yep.
Because that was the event the guy that ran down and we fucking beamed him and he keeps coming and all of us just beam him in the dirt and he's like, I'll see you the next round. And I said, you guys aren't fucking moving on. That was the one point they won. And when it was me and Stroh's at home, and I can hear the guy coming, and I'm yelling, Stroh, look cross, look fucking cross. And he doesn't and lets me get fucking shot in the back. And I went right to his fucking face. And I'm like, if you ever don't fucking do what I say again, I'm like, you will never play another goddamn point as I'm out here. And that was that exact team because they were down like 1-3 or something. We were beating them bad, and they were like chanting and running their fucking mouth. And I'm like, "Are you?" I literally said I got mad, so I walked right by one of them and like blatantly said it to Stroh. I'm like, "You let these bum motherfuckers score a point." I'm like, "These dudes are fucking terrible." And the guy's like, "Terrible? We just beat you." I'm like, "You beat us 1 point. You're already down 3, you fucking clown."
Then we played them for second place at the June CPSL, like
at their home field.
At their home field, yeah.
And beat them into the fucking dirt.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, so fuck it. So we went to the next point and we ran their ass down and we were 4-1. We had a mercy on 4. The last point they came out or something and the guy just go do a run through and then like 4 guns beam him into the fucking dirt and he keeps running and they throw like double majors on his ass and he keeps coming. We just keep beaming this dude all the way on the whole fucking field and shitting on him. But anyways, when she was playing with him, I shot her off break twice in the fucking head. She just ran to the corner and I gunned her up all the way across and hit her. And she didn't even slide to the corner. She just ran right by the corner and ran right to the inbox. And we beat the fucking brakes off those dudes. But anyways, she was doing the same thing on this field. She was running the D1, like running and gunning. I'm like, and she kept getting hit. And the refs weren't fucking pulling her. So
Yeah.
Josh walked up. I guess Josh and Chris kind of know her. When she's done playing, they're like, "Hey, you know you got hit in the pack." She's like, "No, I didn't." He's like, "No, you got hit in the pack." She's like, no, I never felt that." And he's like, "Okay, well, I'm just letting you know that you did get hit in the pack, just the ref didn't see it." She's like, "I don't think so." So then she gets hit again, like the next point, and Josh said something to her, and she's like, "I don't think so." Like she's going out of her way to be an asshole. I'm like, "Okay, cool." I literally said, "If this shit happens on the pro field, the pro refs don't fucking miss it. They will fucking get your ass." So, first point, I think I shot her very early in the corner. She had wrapped it. I beat her to the corner, came up, shot the outside of it. She wrapped it like normal, shot her in the fucking face, and she came out again. And then I see the penalty flag fly up. We beat him. I think Crow gets in there, Snake, and fucking dunks like two of their dudes or something. Gets him pretty good. We win that pretty convincingly. Second point, she does the same shit. I pull up early now to like the beast inside and shot the fucking corner, and she runs right through it, plain as day. Like that's how slow she was. She was like jogging. Well, I could see the corner. Ethan Harvey is in the corner of the net right behind her bunker, and I see him like pointing. Well, the ref fucking goes flying in there. Apparently, she had 2 fat fucking hits on her chest, and she wipes her hand down her fucking chest, asking for a paint check. And Ethan tells me when this is over, he's like, "Oh, dude, she had 2 fat ass hits right on her chest. She wiped both of them, screaming for a paint check." I'm like, dude, I knew I couldn't have missed her. I'm like, I had the lane there. Like, I felt like it was perfect. So we lose that point. And third point, we go out. Same thing. I can pull up. I dig to the 100 now and shoot the wire. She comes right around the outside of it. Thought we had a lane there. I guess, guess she magically missed her again. And I get pulled for a penalty. I see Chris gets a penalty. So they pulled me, and I'm thinking, like, oh, well, there goes this fucking match. Like, we're done. Yeah. So me and him are walking back. Craig sees her running down. He shoots a little bit here and there. Apparently, he gets shot. Guy runs down. They trade a couple bodies back and forth, and they have like 2 bodies left. She runs in, hits a flag. They're like all chanting, fucking screaming. And I'm not saying anything, I'm like on the sidelines. I'm like, is what it is. We got a penalty. You can't win getting penalties. Yep. And I see this giant red flag flying midair. And I'm like, whoa, what is this?
What do we have here, good sir?
Yeah, what do we have here? And she has a fat ass hit on her fucking head. Plain as day. Boom, right in her head. And I'm looking, I'm like, wow, like that is pretty obvious. Yeah. And all the rest come over, look at her. It's, cut and dry. Obvious hit. Boom, major, dirty hang. Well, they come back, and I'm like, Dwayne, let's see what this is about. Comes over, and he's like, hey, dirty hang. He's like, cool. The swing point? Is game us? He's like, no. It goes to one-on-ones. In my head, I'm like, that's kind of weird. I thought in 5-man, a dirty hang to a swing point. And
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, I'm thinking like, well, they didn't have enough bodies. They only had 2 bodies. He's like, no, it goes to one-on-ones. So Dwayne turns right around and goes, Wes, gear up. Like, you're out. I'm like, all right, cool. Fucking put my shit on. I'm sitting around the net. I'm like, walking the field. I'm like, who are we going to send out? Like, who wants this smoke? Like, and in my head, I'm pumped. I'm going on the pro field on the webcast for 1v1s to win the event. I'm like, this is about to get feisty. I'm like, let's get it. And all I'm thinking is like, I hope they send her out. Like, because she's like making a big fucking deal about it. She's like on a, throwing a tantrum, just, going out of her way to make a big deal. And I'm like, I hope they send her out. Like, I'm ready to fucking shit on this bitch. So we're sitting there, and ref comes back over and goes, hey, they don't have enough bodies to assess the penalty. It's a swing point. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, that match is yours. So I look at Dwayne, and I'm like, and we have Craig Martin in there with us, and he's like looking at me. He's the main Lux rep. And we're all looking at each other, and I'm like, they're all losing their mind. And I'm like, I turn around right to Craig. I said, man, I'm like, I hate to win this way. And he's like, I'm like, I can't. I don't like it. I'm like, I understand. What if she was hit and they would have thrown the penalty earlier? The point would have been different. They would have got a major. It would have been like a 5-on-3 or a 4-on-3 or something. And we could have probably easily beat them. And so I understand that, if they would have pulled the flag back then, it'd be a whole different game. So we probably still would have won, and that's how it works. I understand. I'm like, I just don't want to win a game on national TV to a ref's call. And he's like, it is what it is. You got to play honest. Like, he's like, take your wins the way you get them. I'm like, all right. So we walk off. And apparently, the rest of the night and the next 2 days, 3 days, probably still today, she's on her Instagram, like crying and fucking making a big deal and like talking shit.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I've
seen some posts.
Yeah, they bring her up in the fucking booth with Maddie. She's like, well, Maddie, if I was hit, I would have got out. Like, that's just how it works. Like, I'm not going to cheat. And in my head, I'm like, bitch, you've been cheating all fucking weekend. Everybody telling you've been cheating. You're blatantly cheating. I'm like, this isn't like hidden. Everybody knows you've been cheating. So she's like making all these posts, and she's like, and then of course she plays the woman card. She's like, well, I'm a woman, so I have hair, and then I had hair in my paint from Tin Man. And in my head, I'm thinking like, my wife plays.
Yeah.
She doesn't get hair like that, like painting her hair like that. And then check it out.
Corey don't get shot as much, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. I'm like, if you do get paint in your hair and you think it's from Tin Man, which is obviously a fucking lie, if it's from Tin Man, you think you played the last 2 points with a fat ass hit in your head, and a ref never ever called it? All 3 points, a ref never called it during the game. You play with that hit the whole time. She's like, it's old paint. All right, let's just say you're not lying, which you 100% are, and it is old paint. If I go out there with a hit in my fucking face and I start the point, what happens? What happens? It's a penalty, right?
Penalty, yep.
Whose responsibility is it to clean off hits?
You and your teammates every single time. Walking on out there.
If I had 14 hits across all my fucking gear.
Yeah.
If I walk out there in that field and touch up and leave the box, it's a fucking penalty. I am a dead player, moving on and progressing the game.
Yep.
Penalty. So, boom, shit on you, bitch. Doesn't matter if it's
Jesus,
an old
you gotta
hit.
be nice.
No, fuck her, man. Because she started saying some questionable stuff.
Yeah.
She said, like, hashtag rigged, hashtag Jessygate, hashtag founded or sponsored by the Clinton Foundation. Like, yeah. She started saying some wild shit. So, Chris.
Yes,
Chris is a little petty.
He is a little petty.
I'm a little petty too.
I seen it. I seen what you're getting ready to do, because I was almost going to use this hashtag in the on the podcast, but I decided against it. I haven't done
it. Fuck it, use it. Use it.
I'm not gonna.
I would love to have it.
I know you would.
Yeah, fuck
good,
that.
You can say it.
So he put that the video of him putting the trophy up next to all the other trophies we've won with VM.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, look at this. This is running out of room. He's like, guess the ref's been helping us out a lot lately. And apparently she put up a video that's very similar of her putting up a medal with like Kanye West champions running in the background. It's like, hey, listen.
Oh, so they're going to be going back and forth for a couple months.
Yeah, it's like, if you want to call yourself a champion, you can do whatever you want. Like, I don't care what you, but at the end of the day, we're holding the crown and you're holding the fat ass fucking L. So,
yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm looking at the rec here. They did pretty hot coming out of prelims, but after that, it was pretty much playing like all 3 matches. Like, so it wasn't like they swept through and then that happened. So they were losing.
The Ground Zero guys said 2 times in a row they had hits all over them, and the refs didn't call it. And one time the guy runs through covered in fucking paint and does a 3-man run through, doesn't get any majors, and that in the semis knocks him out because of it.
See, that's annoying too.
Yeah, same fucking team. So they were kind of mad about that.
Worked out well for him, I guess, huh?
Uh-huh.
So what was the other story you had about Courtney getting onto the pro field with the pods?
All right, well, we pit.
Yeah.
Well, we also pit with all of the pros, but we're typically behind the scenes back there at the Lux booth with all the pros, like Houston Heat and Seattle Thunder and a lot of those main teams, right? We're back there with Thunder kind of just kicking and hanging out, and they're all bullshitting, and we're just like shooting the shit. Well, towards the end, me and Ryan are kind of talking Moorhead, and I'm like, he's hobbling around, and I'm like, fuck, man. You look like you're hobbling around a little bit, getting old. He's like hobbling, nah. Old, yeah. Hobbling, not so much. So we're kind of like bullshitting, because bless his heart, he doesn't play with pads.
Oh, I did not know that.
He's never played a day in pads in his life.
Why? Did he tell you why?
I remember talking about it a long time ago with him. I can't really remember what he told me, but he's never played with pads, and he will never play with pads. Yeah. I don't know if it feels like it restricts his movement or something.
I mean, I get that because I feel like that with gloves, but
yeah,
I still need pads. I don't even dive like y'all do, but a few times I have to get down, I'm like, oh, these arm pads really saved my arms here.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I have my tan unders that I always wear, and I love those pants. And the semis match, I dove into the 400 pretty early, and like it was a quick move. Because normally I've been like jogging to it and just getting down like a fucking bum.
Yeah.
I don't want to dive and slide because it feels all fucking hard, and my body does not want to take that.
Yeah.
And I went to the 400 and slid down on my knee, and it ripped my fucking pants all the way open and tore through and ripped my fucking carbon unders wide open. Played the point with a giant like 4-foot hole in my fucking pants. So I had to get new pants. That's why you see me in the finals. I have like spotless, clean HKs on.
I was gonna ask, but
yeah,
I figured you just changed.
No, I mean it's good. Like we just went in the fucking booth and just grabbed pants out of the fucking rack. I was like, hey, I was taking these, throw them on and play with them. But so I was kind of like upset about that. I'm like, Chris, you designed a fucking shitty ass product. Chris is like, dude, I got you. I'll just send you a new pair. Like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, dude, it's not your fucking gear. I'm like, I'm like, I've had these for 2 seasons and beat the piss out of these things.
Yeah.
I'm like, it is not your gear. It is the fucking concrete that I'm sliding on. It just didn't give. So my body kept going. The pants are like, hey, cuz.
We stopped
the train stops here. And just fucking ripped all of them out.
That's funny.
Anyways, we go out of the parking lot, and it's Ronnie Dizon, Chad Yaya, and
so some of the Heat guys.
And Harmon, they're all like they're getting ready for their final pro match versus they just beat Dynasty, and we were in the pits with Dynasty when they were playing Heat, and we're all kind of like just talking, and it's crazy to see what's going on. I think I told you before, like when I was at Cup in the pro finals, like being in that situation, it's weird to see what they're going through, Well, anyways, they all leave, and we're out there in the parking lot bullshitting, talking with Tyler and them, and he's just in his mind getting ready, And she walks up and she's like, they're all guys are getting pictures with them, and then they're right next to us, so we're like kind of talking because we're with them before, and she's like, "Can I get a picture?" In in line. She's like, "Yeah." So they all get up, get a picture, or whatever, and we're kind of sitting there talking a little bit, and she says something about Ryan to him, and granted, she doesn't know, but she says something about Ryan. I forget what it was. I don't know how exactly it went. Well, Dizon's like, Ryan, who? Like, acting like he doesn't exist. And I see Harmon kind of and Yaya kind of like smirk, and she's like, Ryan. He's like, Ryan, who? And she's like, the Ryan, the real Ryan. Now, not thinking they have Ryan Moorhead on and to them, Ryan Moorhead is the real Ryan.
Yeah.
But, in paintball, when you say Ryan, it's always Ryan Greenspan. Right? So it's funny. And I look over at Tyler, and he looks at me, and he does a throat cut gesture like they just beat Dynasty to move on. He's like,
that is funny.
Dead. Like they're done. We're all kind of laughing. And I'm like, you go out there and fuck him up? And he's like, yeah, buddy. So I'm like, all right. He's like, y'all better go back and drink some beers for us. And I'm like, oh yeah, like we're going back and kicking in. So it's kind of cool. But other than that, man,
that's awesome.
I really wish it was on turf, obviously, but if it would have been on grass, that would have been the best venue I've ever played at. It's an amazing city. Like, I'm sure there's parts of shitty Philadelphia, but we stayed in the nice parts and went to the nice parts. But the temperature, oh my god, dude, it was
like
75.
Even better
in the morning, 52 in the morning, 75 to 77 high in the day. God, it was beautiful, and it only rained twice in a 4-day span for about 10 to 15 minutes total.
And that probably helped those field conditions
Yes.
just a bit.
Yep.
That's awesome. Now, how'd the layout play coming from since none of us have played on this layout?
Obviously, I didn't get any reps on it going to the event. We still won because we were practicing for MVBS. I didn't get a chance to get no spins on it. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Well, it worked out well. Both sides pushed pretty fast, pretty even. Center's kind of wonky. It plays out the middle really weird too.
Yeah.
But,
the middle was kind of spread, if that makes sense. Like normally it's like a square. It felt like a rectangle, if that computes with everybody.
Now, what do you think? I know you see my comment on the CPSL thread.
Let's get into this too. I think it's bullshit. I don't agree with it. You and everybody else who commented, because I almost commented. I don't comment on much. You can't advertise a blind layout league and then halfway through say what the layout's going to be. To me, they could use the Philly layout. But I would have been fine with that. But remember, you can't tell people. Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah, I said that. I said, if you're going to use the Philly layout, I'm okay with that. Yep. But how about not tell anybody what the Philly layout is? Because there's teams like Crisis and all those teams that are there that there's big camps that are going to get 3, 4, 5 weeks on it already. And by the time they get the CPSL, they're going to have 6 weeks on that layout. It's a big deal. Now, what if this happens? What if he tells us it's the Philly layout and we go there and ultimately it's not the Philly layout?
Now I also think that's wrong because now that you said it to me, you have to use it. Unless he tells us now they're not going to use it. You know what I mean? Like he would, if we get there and it's not the Philly layout, he should have said something beforehand.
Yep.
In my opinion. But he also shouldn't have got to this point where he would have to backtrack. Yes. I think like I said, he could steal an MVPS layout or a layout, an NXL layout from 3 years ago, or use this Philly layout and just not told anybody. And then, like you said, if Crisis and all the other teams would have practiced on it these next 2 weeks, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't know. They just happened to, we don't have any, we'll just leave this layout up. It is what it is. I don't know. I think it's dumb. I saw that post probably before you did, and I almost commented, and then my mom actually saw your comment, and she screenshotted it and sent me, because I guess she likes their page too. She says, Wes is pissed, and I was like, I'm kind of pissed too, because I read it, and I was like, I'm sure we're not the only people, and other people started trickling in. I'm like, yeah, that's where I saw that going. You can't run a league halfway through the season and then all of a sudden announce a layout. It's not right.
I agree, but I'm hoping we can get, if that is the way it is, we'll see how that works. I don't know. Whatever, fucking clowns.
You think he's gonna backtrack?
I think he's gonna fuck us, and then change it.
I mean,
and then go, oh, you shouldn't expect the layout. Told you it was blind layouts.
Yeah, that'll be annoying too at this point because it's already been said.
Yep.
Like if it's been said, then everyone is on the same playing field. Like I say that, but you're not, but you are in a way. I don't know. It's just you can't change your rules. If the whole season, the whole series this year would have been like a posted layout, cool. It's almost like last year. Weren't they given a layout in the beginning? And then a couple in, they made it a blind layout?
I think so, yeah.
I think so. I mean, it's the same thing, which I don't agree with either. It should be – the rules should stay the same from January to December. If you want to change rules for the following season, cool with me. I won't ever complain about that other than say I wish you wouldn't have changed those rules, but that is what it is. I won't complain that you changed them mid-season.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah. Did you have anything else exciting from over the weekend?
I think that's it.
I got one more thing here I got to find. So I always give updates from that paintball book.
Yeah, where's it at?
Yeah, so the last update I gave, they were waiting for all the books. They were being delivered to Chicago. That was May 26th. So
we're a month since then.
Yep. So that was that. Well, June 21st. So I think it was the day before we recorded the last episode previous this one, or maybe the day of. So literally a week ago from today. They're there. They're on the train waiting to be put on the truck. The shipping is so backed up apparently that they've been sitting there since May 26th, and they can't get a truck to drive them from one side of Chicago to the other.
Come on now.
That's their. I mean, I would just be like, "That's my shit. Let's go drive down there and pick up my shit."
Yeah.
But that's what they're waiting on, and they said they don't have a timeline for it. They'll let everyone know when.
Yikes.
Yeah, that was like I said. That was put out a week ago. Yeah, they were originally told it was going to be a 48-hour delay, is what they said. But
how about your cocker?
Yeah. Well, there's actually good news on that. Right before we started this podcast, Free Flow put out a video. They have all the blank bodies in, and that's ahead of schedule by, they said, a significant amount of time. They also had bodies for a gun that isn't released yet, but it's like gonna be the next release. They already have those bodies.
Is it a mystery release?
I don't think it's the mystery release. He said what it was in the video. It's a body they've done before.
Oh, okay.
See. I'm gonna hop on their website. I might be able to tell you once I see the picture of it, and I just don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, they have all the blanks. Maybe it's something they make on occasion. I don't remember. It might be a fulcrum. Maybe they're doing some more of those. He had a bunch of bodies though.
Oh, okay.
But it's something they've done before, so it's not like a special release. But he had a box, maybe 50 to 100 of them. So then he had so quite a few of those, and then all the blanks for the reflexes, which both are ahead of schedule. So that would be nice. I keep expecting November, December. That was the furthest date they said in the timeline, and the earliest was October, so it was only like a month between them. But I'm hoping if they keep ahead of schedule, maybe I can get it by like September. I mean, that's a hard push, I think, but because it's a lot of work, but it's pretty neat. We'll see. I don't think I had any more news.
Should be it.
That's it. But I'll take us out of this bad boy. Thanks for listening, watching, buy merch, not buy merch. We're really close. We're gonna break 5K here very soon. Like we're like
really?
We could do it tonight, honestly. We're very, very close. Yeah, so it's awesome that people do that. Congrats to you and Veteran Militia and Chris and all the other VM guys that do what y'all did and keep doing what y'all do for each other. It's great. But we'll see y'all in the next one.
Later, boys and girls.
Peace.